You think Homelander is a monster. The truth is far more terrifying. He is a mirror, reflecting the darkest part in all of us. You definitely know someone like him. But what psychologists have discovered, and what most of us blindly ignore, are the signs of a personality disorder that is spreading. I'm going to dissect every move to expose it. And by the end of this video, you won't just know the name of that disorder, you'll have to face a terrifying question. Are you seeing yourself in that reflection? If you've seen The Boys, you'll immediately spot his first condition. It's psychopathy. He's a natural-born psychopath. The most obvious sign, the one you can see right away, is a complete lack of empathy. He pretends to be a hero, to feel your pain, but in reality, he couldn't care less about the suffering of others. He is willing to let an entire plane full of people crash into the sea. And then he claims it was the fault of the hijackers, the terrorists, not because he didn't save them. And the reason he doesn't bother to save them is because he knows people are suffering. He knows they're panicking. Who wouldn't panic when they're about to die? But he knows that if he saves some, but not all, those survivors will talk about his incompetence during the rescue, which would lead to most of the passengers dying anyway. So he'd rather save no one at all. He preserves his image rather than letting people live. This is the clearest trait of a psychopath. They perceive other people's pain. They perceive their emotions. They know when others are scared, happy, or joyful. But they use those emotions to control them, not to empathize or feel compassion. Normal people, like us, when we see painful images, see the suffering of our fellow humans, like during floods, wildfires, or shootings. When I hear about these things, I also feel very sad. That's a normal person with empathy. For Homelander, for psychopaths, it's not like that. He sees people suffer, he sees them in fear, and he uses that emotion to feel comfortable. You're scared of me, aren't you? Then I'll make you even more scared. You will obey me. That's how he deals with the other heroes in the Seven. It's a group of 7, and all of them are under thumb. Because he knows he's the strongest, he can completely finish off anyone. Their lives are in his hands.
I'm the Homelander, and I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Everyone is afraid of him, so he feels comfortable, he enjoys it. You're scared of me, right? What am I gonna do? Break your arm, choke you? What can you do to me? That is the clearest trait of a natural-born psychopath. Homelander has it all. Second, there's his irresponsibility. Psychopaths, they have zero responsibility. None at all. The things he does, he leaves a huge mess for others to clean up. He doesn't need to worry about it because he's a psychopath. He's the kind of guy who's like, why should I care? I know you're sad, I know you're suffering. But what's that got to do with me? I'm the superhero. If you put yourself in Homelander's shoes, you'll see it very clearly. A superhero wouldn't need to care about responsibility because I'm superhuman, I save people, and as for the rest, the broken houses and all that, what does that have to do with me? Okay, I'll save you, but my laser vision might blow up the whole plane and kill the whole group? Oh, that's just a normal thing. It has nothing to do with my responsibility. But the thing you'll notice even more clearly is his low self-esteem. I know, this sounds bizarre. You're thinking, wait, a superhero, he can fly, he's got skin of steel, you're telling me bullets don't kill him, and you're saying he has low self-esteem? How? Well, self-esteem has nothing to do with how thick your skin is. It depends on what you show on the outside. Where does low self-esteem come from? It's when you are seeking approval. You constantly have to find praise to get that feeling from others saying things like, you're so cool, you're so great, you're amazing. As for Homelander, his self-esteem is low, so he always needs others to praise him and see him as a living god. You see, a psychopath often has low self-esteem. They need others to praise them, to tell them, you're great, you're awesome, you're the best. Homelander is the same way, even though he's a superhero, even though there's nothing that can harm him. But think about it. If I had that kind of power, I could totally do whatever I want. I could enslave anyone I want. But Homelander can't do that. He still has to be managed by Vought. Because only Vought and its leaders, only they praise him. They're the ones who say, yeah, you're great, pat him on the back, calling him the excellent Homelander and all that jazz. And that's what's key. Even though we might think he's a superhero, why does he need normal people to praise him for anything? But no, we all need praise. We all want someone to acknowledge that we are good. that we've done something wonderful on this earth. And Homelander is the same. Even though he's an undisciplined and cruel superhero, he still wants others to recognize him, to see him as a lovely, cute superhero, a good person. He doesn't want people to see his true nature, that he's a truly monstrous guy, a natural-born psychopath. And that's why he's still managed by Vought. Sounds funny, right? He's already a superhero, but he's still under a corporation. The company tells him to do this, he does it. The company tells him to do that, he does that. Why is it so weird? My God, why do I need PR? I can just go out and save people. No. If you save people the wrong way, if you save them without a camera on you, then no one knows you did it. And who's going to provide those things? The superhero doesn't know how to do it. Vought. So he needs approval, he needs recognition from Vought, from the people who worship him as a living saint. And that is the sign of a natural-born psychopath. Now, for the condition that Homelander has, that you have, and that I have. Narcissistic personality disorder. Everyone has this, but we love ourselves on a smaller scale. Like when we post a photo on Instagram, a group photo, we always pick the one where we look best. As for the rest of you, who cares? Because it's my Instagram, so I should look good. We love ourselves, right? That is a normal level of self-love. To him, he is the most superior being, the best, a superhero. He deserves to be loved more than anyone else because he is the best superhuman. So if you look, you'll see his narcissistic personality disorder is incredibly severe. Normal people have it, but not as heavily as him, because honestly, people who have excessive self-love, you can spot them easily in the real world. To them, no one in this world is as amazing as they are. They are super, they are the best. But let's look at Homelander first, and you'll see. The clearest example is in the episode where he gets on the plane to attack the terrorists to save the hostages. When he gets on there, he kills the terrorists carelessly and casually because he doesn't care about responsibility, which leads to the plane's engine exploding, and the plane is about to dive into the sea, killing everyone. So he has two choices. One, save as many as you can, and then those people will go back and tell the press, this Homelander guy is so irresponsible. Because of him, the plane could have been saved. But in the end, a ton of people died. We were just lucky to survive. The second choice is to let the whole plane die. No one left to talk. No one left to complain about irresponsibility. He chose the second option because he loves himself. He doesn't want his image to be tarnished. Because to him, he's the best. Who cares if this crowd dies? My image being affected is what's important. You guys are just a bunch of normal people anyway. And you can easily meet this type of person in the real world if you lose your bike, if you break your leg. Oh, you're making a big deal out of such small things. The most important thing in the end is me, that I achieve my goals. As for the rest of you, your lives are worthless. To hell with you. And another clear thing from that story that helps you see the next terrible. Major trait of the excessively narcissistic crowd is deceit. They are willing to lie to achieve their goals. Homelander is willing to stand before the press and say things like, "It was all the terrorists' fault the plane went down. I am heartbroken. I send my condolences to all those who had loved ones on that plane." He lies without batting an eye, because that lie preserves his beautiful image in the eyes of others. You have to remember, the psychopath needs others to recognize them, and the self-loving personality of a narcissist is similar. They want others to see them with a gaze that is always admiring, always thinking they're wonderful. So they are willing to lie to achieve that. You see it with people on Instagram. There are these Instagram accounts, partying, living amazing, incredible lives. Then suddenly they're exposed as scammers, borrowing money and not paying it back, dirt poor in reality. But on Instagram, they always look beautiful because they love themselves. They want others to look at them with admiration. So they are willing to lie to do it. That right there, look around you. There's no Homelander, but there are still normal people who still have the exact same traits. Maybe I have a little bit of this condition myself. Every time I ask you to subscribe to my knowledge channel, you might think, does this guy think his channel is the only one or something? Always demanding things. And you might not be entirely wrong. But if you look at other channels that also do similar content, you'll see they aren't as detailed and clear, and they don't have the same level of engagement. So from a certain angle, This confidence is justified. Knowledge channels like this truly need your support to grow. But we have to be fair. Why is Homelander so cruel? If you've seen the show, you'll know, as a child, Homelander was also cute. He was a kid. He also needed the love of a mother and a father. But the problem is, from childhood to adulthood, he was raised like a rat in a lab. He never had a loving mother. He never had a father to teach him, this is wrong, this is right, son. Instead, it was all just experiments to test if bullets would kill this kid, if fire would burn him, if poison gas would affect him, if shooting a laser at him would do anything. And that affects the mental illnesses you're seeing in Homelander. Because, you know, your childhood defines so much of who you are today. Because if you were beaten and abused as a child when you grow up, you're very likely to think that being beaten is the love of the person who loves you, that beating others is how you show love. That's why there are so many people who often find partners who beat them regularly, but they don't leave because they have a traumatic childhood. Homelander is just like that. And what I'm doing with clips like this is using fictional characters to get you excited about real-life intellectual and psychological conditions, to help you understand that if we understand ourselves clearly, it can be wonderful. It's very difficult for channels like No Cap Bro to get a lot of views, a lot of subscribers. So if you can, please share and subscribe to support the effort I'm making to help you understand yourselves better. Think about that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.